Whether you realize it or not, or whether you want to or not, we are all being expanded in a very profound way right now. So when we talk about 2024, specifically the astrological energy of 2024, we've got two planets that are major players, Jupiter and Pluto. So Pluto just recently moved into Aquarius in January, and this is getting us to transform the way that we think in a way to bring us into the future. Now, at the same time, we've got Jupiter making several moves this year that are really going to stretch us out of our comfort zones. And presently, right now, we've got both of these major players of 2024 in aspect to each other. So Jupiter is currently trine to Pluto. So what does this mean? Profound change, expansion well past our comfort zones, and going from heaven to hell and back again. This is definitely an interesting time to be alive. All right, so in this video, I'll be discussing everything that you need to know about the upcoming Jupiter trine Pluto transit, what it means for you, and then even more specifically, what it means for your sign. All right, so stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer, and I'm the founder of divinefeminineworks, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about the upcoming Jupiter trine Pluto transit. All right, so I talk about transits all the time in my weekly astro forecast. Now, my weekly astro forecast typically covers the more mundane transits, right? The transits that happen sort of every day. But I like to do dedicated videos on transits that are a little more important and a little more profound. And I use the word profound intentionally because this particular transit, namely Jupiter trine Pluto, is very profound and will affect us in a very profound and even permanent kind of way. Now, this isn't by any means to get you scared or anxious. This is actually going to be a really dope ass transit, all right? However, it's going to require a little bit of work on your part, right? And when I say work, I don't mean anything arduous. I don't mean anything taxing or anything like that. But anytime we're talking about Pluto, we're talking about intensity, all right? We're talking about things like death, birth, merging, sex, libido, desire, a lot of heavy sort of topics. And with Pluto currently retrograde, we have the ability to be intentional about this change. Now, what I love about this particular transit is that things are going to start to flow harmoniously, right? There isn't going to be much effort required on your part. However, you're definitely going to need to be observant. And you're definitely going to need to do a little bit of soul searching at the same time, right? Because apart from Pluto making things intense and this energy of profound change and transformation, we've got Jupiter, which is like expanding us well beyond our comfort zone. So if I had to sum up this particular transit in a phrase or in a sentence, it would be profound transformation that is allowing you to soar. Everything about this transit is getting you to go from here to here, to go from the depths of hell into the stratospheres of heaven, all right? This is a very spiritual transit. It's a very transformative transit. And it's a very enlightening and eye-opening transit. The energy for this transit is absolutely beautiful. And it's really important that you understand what's going on so that you can observe and notice how things are changing in your life, where the universe and the cosmos want you to expand, and how you can learn and experience new things. Now, the astrology for this particular moment in time, and when I film this video, Jupiter is getting ready to go into Gemini tomorrow. So Jupiter is ready to make a sign change. Pluto is sort of getting comfortable in Aquarius, but it just went retrograde. So we're really being urged to look within, right? And the other astrology for this particular time period really fosters changing your mindset. And this is really important because understand that thoughts become things. And that it's your mind, your imagination, your beliefs that create your reality. I actually just did a really dope ass live masterclass on manifestation the other day. So if you haven't checked it out already, it's right here. Link will be in the description box below, because right now is the time that we can really make changes to our lives in tandem with the universe. It's like the universe is trying to change you and trying to change your circumstances. And all it's asking of you at this particular juncture is to immerse yourself in the creation process. It's like spirit and you are meeting each other halfway, and that is when beautiful things can happen. So this is the time to really understand not only what it is that you want, what you think, what you believe, but most importantly, who you are, what makes you tick. When you understand all of these things together, that's when the magic truly happens. All right, so let's get into the details of this transit, astrologically speaking. So of course, we start off with the basics. So let's break this down into digestible parts. Let's talk about Jupiter, the energy signature of Jupiter. Let's talk about Pluto and its energy signature. And let's talk about the astrological aspect known as a trine. So first up, Jupiter. Jupiter is known as the greater benefic, right? It is a planet that has a very positive energy signature. In our solar system, Jupiter is the largest planet and it's very gaseous, right? So Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about growth. Whatever Jupiter touches grows, it expands, it takes up space. Jupiter always wants to take us out of our comfort zone and wants to take us higher. Now, Jupiter rules the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces. Now, think about the glyph for Sagittarius. It's that arrow, right? Jupiter wants you to go to new heights. It wants you to soar into a new stratosphere, all right? Everything about Jupiter is taking you from point A to point B exponentially. Now, growth is an amazing thing. Growth is a part of our evolution. And evolution is really one of the undercurrent energies of this transit, because Jupiter wants to expand us and Pluto wants us to evolve. So, like I said in the intro, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to or not, you are evolving right now. You're changing, you're developing, and you're growing. So one of the most important things that you'll want to resist at this point in time, right, is the urge to stay small, the urge to not change. Everything right now is pushing you into a new phase, into a new version of yourself. And if you are resistant to this change, if you're like, no, I want to stay in my comfort zone, I don't know what the future holds. Like if you're fearful, if you're anxious, this transit and all of its beauty and all of its positivity is going to be a little uncomfortable for you, but I'll get into more of that later. So back to Jupiter. So Jupiter is like the higher mind. Everything about Jupiter wants you to experience new things, broaden your horizons, gain wisdom through experience. Now, in terms of mythology, Jupiter is representative of Zeus. Zeus was the god of gods on Mount Olympus in ancient Greece, right? And Zeus was concerned with order. It was concerned with cosmic order, law and order even, right? However, this order is cosmic. It's vast. It's not just the man-made laws. It's not just the mundane things that we are used to. So you'll find that at this time, you may be focusing on things from a broader perspective, trying to make order and sense of your life, all right? That's really important because it gets you to think about where you're headed. So it's not just about thinking about your daily activities. It's not just about living in the moment. It's like, where am I going? What is my trajectory? Where is the universe trying to take me? You have to be receptive to all of that. All right. So now that we talked about Jupiter and its expansion, oh, I almost forgot. Jupiter is also about abundance. Okay. This is where Jupiter gets its moniker of the greater benefic, because Jupiter bestows positive energy, abundance, good luck, good fortune. These are the promises that are inherent in this particular transit. Okay. Now, abundance I think that when we perceive abundance, we think money, we think prosperity, and that's definitely a part of it. However, abundance literally just means a lot. And this goes back to what I was saying about Jupiter expanding things. Like, you're going to have a lot of things. There's going to be an emphasis on a plethora of things, specifically wherever this transit is going down for you. And I will be delineating this transit by sign later on in the video, so you know exactly how this transit is going to affect you. All right. So Jupiter, abundance, expansion, growth, moving past your comfort zone. All right. So now let's talk about Pluto. Ooh, child. Pluto is a planet of intensity. It's intense magnetism. Pluto kind of puts a magnifying glass to things. So I want you to keep this in context, right? We've got Jupiter expanding things, and we've got Pluto magnifying things. I wish I had a magnifying glass because I look kind of weird doing this, right? But you know what I mean by this. So Pluto magnifies things. It intensifies things. In terms of the energy signature of Pluto, it's the underworld. It is sex. It's merging. It's death, rebirth, transformation, regeneration. Okay. Pluto also has a very mysterious energy to it. So it's almost like we're being expanded, we're being pushed, we're being evolved at this time, but we don't necessarily know how. It's sort of this mysterious kind of energy that we're subject to right now, but whatever it is, it's intense. Now, the one word to sum up Pluto energy is transformation. It's change. Think about sex, okay? Great topic to think about, right? When we talk about sex, we're talking about two people coming together and merging. Oftentimes, sex involves conception, right? The egg and the sperm meet up and transform into a fetus, right? There is this inherent sort of energy signature inherent in this transit of fertility, of things coming to conception. But again, because we're talking about Pluto, it's a little mysterious, right? We can't necessarily pinpoint how this evolution, how this fertility, this conception is happening, but it's happening, and it's happening in a major way. And transformation. Evolution is transformation. You're going from point A to point B, but you're sort of getting better, right? And this is really important because Pluto is currently in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius has everything to do with innovation and improvement. So you may not know where you're headed. You don't necessarily know how the universe is evolving you right now, but understand and believe that this transformation, this evolution is very positive and it's improving upon your life. Now, remember I said, Spirit, the cosmos via this transit is helping you evolve. Now you have to do your part too. It's like you and Spirit, you and the universe are meeting halfway to create this newness, to create this profound change in your life. This is where manifestation comes in. This is where you are being urged to transform the way that you think. And I say that you're transforming the way that you think because both Pluto and Jupiter are in air signs, or at least will be in air signs. So like I said before, Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the air sign that is concerned with changing, improving, and innovating the way that we think to take us into the future. And Jupiter is about to enter Gemini. Gemini is literally our day-to-day thoughts, the narrative that we tell ourselves. So getting your mind right at this particular point in time is going to be super important because this is going to be the driving force. This is the fuel that's going to be powering this car of transformation. I hope this isn't going over your head, and I hope that this is making sense. Long story short, get your mind right now. Focus on what you want. Focus on where you're going. Don't focus on what you don't want, what you don't need, and what you don't like. Jupiter in Gemini is a plethora of thoughts, okay? It could be your monkey mind. It could be your mundane thoughts from day in and day out. If those thoughts aren't positive, if those thoughts are negative, if they are fear-based, anxiety laden. You're going to manifest a plethora of that right now. Okay. And this isn't to make you scared or anxious. This is to get you aware and conscious of what you are thinking. So at this time right now, meditation is your best friend. Scripting is your best friend. Praying even is going to be your best friend. Whatever you need to do to quiet your monkey mind and get your thoughts centered on what it is that you want, you're going to want to do that right now, because the sky is the limit and you definitely don't want to miss the bus with this one. All right. So now let's talk about the astrological aspect known as the trine, the triangle, right? Trines denote harmony. They are effortless energy, peace, and abundance. So the energy signature of this transit of Jupiter trine Pluto is positive. It's harmonious, right? It is getting you to evolve in a way that is effortless and that is pleasant, okay? It doesn't mean that you can just sit back and relax, especially if your mind is not in the right place. Don't get it twisted. However, this isn't going to feel arduous. If anything is feeling arduous right now, if anything isn't flowing, then it's not in alignment. I want you to really understand that. It's like the universe is putting you in a position for things to align for your expansion and your evolution. And it's going to be overwhelmingly positive. So enjoy this. Observe what is changing in your life and don't resist. Allow yourself to be molded into the version of you that you actually like. The version of you that is expansive, that is adventurous. The next version of you, you 2.0. That's exactly what this transit is doing for you. So be receptive to it. All right. So now let's get into some of the themes that are going to play out with this particular transit. All right. So now let's talk about what we can expect out of this particular transit. So again, we've got Jupiter expanding us and we've got Pluto transforming us and evolving us. And with both of these planets trine to each other, this is going to be overwhelmingly positive. And with both planets in air signs, this has a lot to do with our mental activities and our thoughts. Which brings me to this was going to be the second theme, but since I'm talking about thoughts, let's talk about the first theme, which is a positive transformation of your thoughts, an evolution of your thoughts. Now, remember I said before that Jupiter wants to expand you past your comfort zone. So under this particular transit, you're going to have opportunities to expand what you think and how you perceive things. Perhaps you've been rigid in your thinking in a certain area of your life. And you're going to want to look at your natal chart to see exactly where Gemini and Aquarius are. These are the two areas of life where this transit is really going to play out for you. But again, I'm going to delineate this by sign later on. So don't worry if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. So theme number one, the transformation of your thoughts. So we are taking what we know, what we believe, and we're pushing it past our limits. We're going to be exposed to different things, different ideologies, different mindsets that are going to allow us to take the barriers and the brakes off of our current ways of thinking and move into the future. Expand our minds and broaden our horizons. Again, you're not going to want to be resistant to how the universe is trying to expand your mind right now. Be open to different points of view. Talk to different people. I have the sense, because Jupiter is going to be trying to Pluto, like you're going to have ample opportunity to experience and understand different points of view. And it's not going to be in your face, aggressive. Because this is a trine, I feel like this is going to flow effortlessly. So you'll just find yourself sort of gravitating even to different points of view, different people, different cultures, different beliefs, different ideologies, right? Your mind is moving to a higher state of consciousness, and the right people to help you do that are going to sort of appear out of nowhere. So do not be resistant to that, okay? Allow your mind to wander, allow your mind to soar, and be open to different perceptions, different ideas, different ideologies, and different beliefs, okay? Now, the second theme of this particular transit is going to be fertility. Okay. Now, not necessarily fertility in the way that you're thinking, right? When we think of fertility, we think of sex, we think of babies, we think of gestation. All of that is true. However, because Jupiter and Pluto are in air signs, this is fertility of the mind. This is allowing different thoughts, ideologies to impregnate your mind. Sounds kind of weird, but that's exactly what's going on right now. Being receptive to your mind expanding and growing, okay? Now, Pluto energy has a lot to do with fertility. It has a lot to do with lust, your libido, the sexual, the whole process of sex and conception, right? That's definitely governed by Pluto. So depending on where this is going on in your chart, this literally could be sex and conception, but inherent in fertility is this newness, this new life that is forming. This is you 2.0 that's being conceived right now. And it's starting in the mind. This is why manifestation is like super important right now. This is why, I did a video on manifestation the other day. I focused on the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is the seat of our creativity. So it's not even just our conscious minds that are evolving right now. It's our ability to create that is evolving as well. So this is a very creative time, a very fertile time. So you really want to be conscious of what you are conceiving. What are you creating right now? Be very intentional about that. Because again, Jupiter is going to expand whatever it touches. So if you are creating fear, anxiety, hatred, any of those sort of low vibrational energies, you're going to see a lot of that proliferate in your life right now. So be mindful of your creativity, as this is a very, very fertile time. Okay. Third, ambition and success. This is another theme that's going to play out with this transit. Now, ambition and success has a lot to do with the Jupiter energy signature, right? Victory, success, that all has a lot to do with Jupiter. However, because we've got Pluto in the mix, it's almost like, what are you willing to do for success and ambition? Anytime we talk about Pluto, we're sort of talking about our inner motivations. What is the reason why we want success and ambition? And more importantly, what are you willing to do to get it? Pluto has a lot to do with the darker side of things, right? Are you willing to be underhanded for success and ambition? Are you willing to be manipulative for success and ambition? Now, keep in mind, because I said the dark side of Pluto, right? Pluto brings out the darkness. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be a negative or an evil kind of thing. Remember, I said this is a trine. Trines are harmonious. They're peaceful. And with Jupiter being the greater benefic, the planet of abundance and positivity, it's sort of like you're able to understand your motivations. By understanding your motivations, you're able to transmute that energy into something positive. Perhaps for some of you, this transit is going to get you to realize that maybe you need to do a little more to be successful, to be ambitious. Not necessarily be dark and manipulative about it, but sort of, lighting a fire under your ass to focus on success and ambition and really examine what you're willing to do to have those things. And sort of the universe may kick you in the ass a little bit to get going on that particular journey or with respect to those endeavors, right? So success, ambition, and what you're willing to do for it. Okay. That's a very important theme of this particular transit. All right. Next, we have the themes of power and control. Pluto has a lot to do with these two topics. Power, control, powerlessness, your level of power. And with Jupiter trining Pluto, power and control are going to be expanded and magnified in a positive sort of way. What I love about this transit is that it allows you to take power and control over your transformation. And again, this has a lot to do with manifestation, okay? And then the final theme that I want to focus on for this particular transit is evolution, all right? And I definitely spoke about this before, but evolution isn't just about, okay, where do I want to go? Evolution is about change, right? Change really requires you to examine not just where you want to go, but your shortcomings, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Understanding where you are to do what needs to be done to get to where you want to be. Evolution is change, it's transformation. And obviously that has everything to do with Pluto. And so if you are willing to evolve, not just evolve in the way that the universe is sort of urging you or pushing you to evolve, but if you're also intentional about your own personal evolution, especially because Pluto is retrograde right now, this is where you're going to soar into a new stratosphere. This is where you're going to experience profound change if you are willing to evolve, if you're willing to look at your shadows, if you're willing to go beneath the surface, if you're willing to get deep and substantive within yourself. This is where you will experience profound change in the way that you think and in your trajectory. All right. So Jupiter trine Pluto is getting you to change from the inside out. This is such a profound and positive time right now. So you really, like I said before, you really need to get your mind right so that you can get to not only where you want to go, but to the newer, better, more improved version of yourself. All right. So now let's get into the signs and talk about what each sign can anticipate with this powerful transit. All right. So lucky for you, I've got a lot of information for the sign. So not only am I going to talk about where this transit will be playing out in your life based on your rising sign, but I also have some messages for you from Spirit as well. So I will definitely timestamp this so you know exactly when your sign is coming up and what sign to watch for, but there's a lot of information here, so definitely stick around, all right? So first, of course, we've got Aries. So for you, Aries, this Jupiter trine Pluto transit is playing out between your 3rd house of ideas and communication and your 11th house of friendship and goals. So for you, lots of activities in your immediate vicinity, expanding your mind and learning new things, new dreams and aspirations. And at this time, you will definitely want to let your friends, neighbors, or your siblings help you out, all right? So in terms of your message, this may be a time when you reignite a repressed desire or goal for success, fame, and recognition. Be mindful of using underhanded tactics to succeed and of the temptation to exceed by any means necessary. All right, so this is a time for you to expand, particularly into a goal or a dream that you've had from the past. Allow your friends to help you. Be mindful of temptation and be mindful of using underhanded tactics to get ahead, okay? All right, next up, we've got Taurus. So for you, Taurus, this transit between Pluto and Jupiter is taking place between your 2nd house of money and assets and your 10th house of career and public life. So for you, money, business, and career are the focus. Ambition, success, and recognition will be emphasized. Understanding how you work, your inner mechanisms, can help with your goals and dreams. This is a time of expansion and regeneration, especially when it comes to your career or your business. And there's going to be a little bit of work required to conquer your demons. Now, I just talked about how your inner mechanisms, how you tick, can really help you achieve what you want at this time. And part of that will be understanding your demons, maybe making friends with them and conquering them in some instances. So this is a time for you to shine, and you're being divinely guided to do so. You've traversed the underworld. You've kind of experienced hell, and now it's time to come above ground and take your rightful place in the sun. Recognition and reward are going to be the themes for this particular transit. All right. So definitely enjoy it. Next up, we've got Gemini. So for you, Gemini, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is taking place between your first house of self and your ninth house of higher education, long distance travel, and spirituality. So personal development and expansion are definitely on the menu. This is adopting a whole new mindset. There's going to be lots to learn and lots to experience, especially from the inside out. This is a new, more expansive personal narrative. Okay. There also may be an emphasis on long distance travel, college and higher education, religion, philosophy, and or foreign affairs. Okay. Now, for you, Gemini, it is go time. New adventure awaits. Clarity concerning your life's purpose and the urge to expand into it. Wisdom through experience. Use your intuition. And at this time, you will be attracting all the right things and the right people to help you advance and evolve. Next up, we've got Cancer. And so for you, Cancer, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is happening between your 12th house of rest and solitude and your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources. So this particular transit is going to be deeply spiritual and introspective for you. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for self-examination. Repressed emotions will definitely come up and you'll have ample opportunity to make sense of them. Heaven and hell within you, and finding a peaceful and harmonious reconciliation between the two. Now, you're going to be reaching new spiritual and esoteric heights. You're going to be going from the depths of hell to the heights of heaven. And all of this is going to be happening within you. Okay. So for you, Cancer, the message is don't rush into anything right now. Take a step back and see the bigger picture. The past betrayals and even those betrayals that you've enacted on yourself, so those self-betrayals, serve as fuel to move forward successfully. This transit gives you a whole new, more enlightened perspective. It's almost like this transit is like a baptism of sorts. It will wash you clean of the past and take you to new spiritual and esoteric heights. All right. Next up, we've got Leo. And so for you, Leo, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is happening between your 11th house of friendship and goals and your 7th house of partnership and commitment. So relationships are going to be the focus of this transit for you, specifically your friendships and your committed partnerships, or even your business deals and contracts and partnerships. Okay. So lots of activity and changes in your closest relationships. More experimentation, freedom, and exploration within these relationships. A new and broader way of looking at these relationships as well is also the promise of this transit. And examining what you are willing to do for these relationships. Now, remember, one of the themes I've talked about with Pluto is sort of success, ambition, and what you're willing to do for them. So to have successful relationships, even the goals and the dreams and aspirations in your life, what are you willing to do for those things? Examining yourself and your motivations is going to be key in answering those questions. Okay. So for you, Leo, here's your message. Desiring success and perfection in your friendships and committed relationships. This may require some alone time or some separation. Maybe not a complete breakup, but maybe taking a step back, taking a break, or taking a beat in these relationships. How does being alone or apart make you feel? What comes up when you are alone or separated from these relationships? Examine those feelings and those thoughts thoroughly, okay? Next up, we've got Virgo. So for Virgo rising, this transit between Taurus, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is happening between your 10th house of career and public life and your 6th house of work and health. So for this transit, for you Virgo rising, there's an emphasis on career and work, okay? So lots of activities with career and work. What are you willing to do to get ahead and succeed? This sort of speaks to the themes that I was talking about earlier, okay? Understanding your motivations, understanding what makes you tick, helps to catapult you to a new level or a new stratosphere even when it comes to work and when it comes to your career. And this could also be a time where there's a turning around of a health situation for the better. All right, Virgo, so here is your message. You are divinely guided and protected at this time. The seeds of what is happening right now were planted at the beginning of time. So there is a very fated and a very destined element to what is happening with you and to you and for you right now. Success, ambition, dreams, recognition, all of this has been coded in your DNA already. And this is what is going to be coming out. This is what is going to be expressed. This is what is going to become manifest at this transit, okay? Deep roots ensure a strong and stable structure. I want you to meditate on that. I'm going to say it again. Deep roots ensure a strong and stable structure. All right. Next up, we've got Libra Rising. So for you, Libra, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is going down between your 9th house of higher education, long distance travel, and your 5th house of self-expression. So this transit is really going to expand you personally, especially with respect to how you express yourself and how you view and perceive the world around you. So adventure, exploration, self-expression, and expansion are on the menu for you. Living out loud and definitely living beyond the confines of your comfort zone. Creativity, higher education, spirituality, romance, children, and travel will likely be the themes for this particular transit. Conception, fertility, like I spoke about in the themes of this transit, and new ways to see the world. All right, Libra, so here is your message. During this busy time, take out time to be alone and or to retreat. Get your mind right and figure out who you really are, the good stuff and the bad stuff. Figure out what you really want and then go out there and get it, all right? Many people are going to be taking notice of you at this time. And that's not to scare you. It's not to say, oh my gosh, all eyes are on you. It just means that you're going to be noticed. And people are really perhaps going to take interest in what you're doing and who you are. So take advantage. All right. Next up, we've got Scorpio. So for you, Scorpio rising, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is taking place between your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources and your 4th house of home and family. So this particular transit is going to affect you very privately, okay? It's sort of an inside job for you with this transit. So your private life, your home, your family, intimacy, sex, and fertility are all going to be on the menu with this transit. Repressed emotions, shadows, and secrets are also going to be emphasized with this transit. Understanding the past, particularly the past as it relates to your lineage and your family, is going to be the key that helps to unlock your future. Family, merging, fertility, those are all going to be also emphasized with this transit. All right, Scorpio, so here's your message. Your lineage comes into focus right now. You are being tasked with breaking generational curses, removing the weakest link. Understanding where it all began, again, is going to be the key to unlocking your particular future. Finding out the truth of the past and transmuting it into a better future. So, Scorpio, you are being tasked with a very important task. When it comes to your family and your lineage, you are the generational curse breaker, and you are helping usher your family into the future. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, but only a sign like you can really handle it. So get to work. All right. Next up, we've got Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius Rising, you guys are going to feel this transit. It's you, Scorpio, and Pisces that are really going to feel the effects of this transit profoundly, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Sagittarius and Pisces are both ruled by Jupiter. All right. So Sag, you're going to feel this quite a bit. So for Sag Rising, this is going down between your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and your 3rd house of ideas and communication. So this is going to be a busy time in your immediate vicinity and your environment and your partnerships, whether they are your marriages, your committed relationships, or even your business partnerships, are going to be coming into focus. This is going to be a time of learning, exploration, and lots of communication. This is very busy bee kind of energy. So there's a lot that's going to be going on with you with this transit. Power and control. So power and control dynamics in partnerships and business relationships are definitely going to be a thing. And the word that came to mind with this particular transit for you is frenemies. Okay, your open enemies, people who kind of smile in your face but don't really like you. Frenemies are definitely going to be emphasized with this particular transit. All right, Sag Rising, this is your message. Use your intuition at this time and allow it to guide you. There's more than meets the eye. Allow your intuition to inform your intellect. A woman's intuition, you know how women always know that you're cheating, or women know things before they happen. Like, that's going to be highlighted at this time. And you're also going to want to indulge in your curiosities. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. All right. So keep that in mind and meditate on that for this particular transit. Next up, we've got Capricorn. So for you, Cap Rising, this particular transit between Jupiter and Pluto is going down between your 6th house of work and health and your 2nd house of money and material possessions. So there is an emphasis on work and money with this transit for you, which is, you guys will love this, right? So work, your daily activities, health, money, and assets are all going to be highlighted. What are you willing to do for money and success? Think about that, okay? Discipline is something that's going to come up as well, in the sense that when temptation starts knocking, are you going to answer? Are you disciplined enough to stick to the task at hand? Or are you going to veer off and sort of follow your temptations? And then finally, a health matter changes for the better. So that's always great news. All right, Cap Rising. So here is your message. Allow your intuition to guide you. Connecting to your highest self makes all the difference. Practicality and logic will only take you but so far. Expand your mind and take a spiritual approach. You're about to unlock a new level. You're about to move up to a new level in this video game of life, right? Logic will only take you so far. It's time to move into intuition and spirituality, okay? Next up, we've got Aquarius Rising. So for you, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is taking place between your 5th house of self-expression and your 1st house of self. So the key word for this transit for you, Aquarius, is self. Self-development, self-expansion, self-expression, and personal evolution, okay? Your mind, outlook, and personality, your creativity, and your self-expression, excuse me, are going to be highlighted at this time. Learning new and exciting things about yourself that will facilitate this personal evolution. Personal transformation, death, rebirth, regeneration, all happening within you. New and improved romantic relationships or improvements in your relationship with your children are also going to be on the menu for this transit. All right, so for you, Aquarius Rising, here is your message. Self-expression is emphasized. This is going to be a time where you are really feeling yourself. So there's this boost a self-confidence, perhaps this optimistic outlook that you will be adopting with this transit, okay? It is your It is your time to shine. You will perhaps be feeling warm, generous, and loving. And warmth, generosity, and love will be reflected back to you in your romantic relationships and your relationships with your children. Coming up from the underground, being noticed and being reborn. Something about this transit is like a baptism of sorts for you. You are emerging anew and you are revitalized, you're re-energized, and you are really ready to settle into you 2.0, okay? And last but certainly not least, we have Pisces Rising. Now, this transit will affect you profoundly because Jupiter is your ruling planet, or one of your ruling planets, I should say. So you're really going to feel the effects of this transit. All right, so for you, Pisces Rising, this transit between Jupiter and Pluto is going down between your 4th house of home and family and your 12th house of self-reflection and relaxation. So this transit is really playing out in a very private way for you and has a strong emphasis on your lineage, all right? So your private life, your home, your family, and your spirituality will all be emphasized with this transit. Your lineage, the past, karma, and secrets are also going to be themes of this transit for you. Personal development, personal development and transformation are also on the menu. And this is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Family issues, particularly family issues from the past, will likely be obliterated and sort of a new level, a new version of yourself will be reflected not only in you, but also in your family, both now and moving into the future. All right, Pisces Rising. So this is your message. Battling your demons, repressed emotions, family ties that bind. This is a very introspective transit for you. And it's going to be, this sounds a little scary. It sounds a little gloom and doom, but it's not. It's like you're able to process these things successfully. You're able to really get a handle on these things in a way that can help improve your life, all right? What consumes you? What drives you? What motivates you? I think that you're going to be really reflecting on this at this time. Freeing yourself from the spider's web, liberating yourself, going in a new direction, and ultimately soaring. There's a very personal transit for you, but one that really aids in your personal evolution. All right, my loves. So that concludes this video on the upcoming Jupiter trine Pluto transit. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this transit. Trust and believe when I say that this is a time of profound expansion and evolution. Don't be resistant to this. Allow yourself to move into a better, more improved version of you that is more in alignment with who you are truly designed and meant to be. This is an amazing time to be alive. So definitely take advantage of this wonderful, expansive, and evolutionary energy. For more information on my products and service, all of that is linked in the description box below and or tagged to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.